Good morning and welcome to the business updates from me, Michael Hardy, in the consulting room. What's your backup plan? Amazon have had problems with their services, Prime Video, Alexa, and their web hosting, AWS, their cloud web hosting, easy for me to say, service. So what happens if you have a problem with your IT? Do you have it backed up securely? Do you have it hosted by a third party, or is it on site? So what is your backup plan if your IT gets hit? If you've got an online store or a web sales service, what happens to that, and how much impact does that have on your business if it goes down? We don't all have the resources of Amazon, so having a plan and understanding what to do when it occurs is really important. So the cost of Christmas is going up, no surprise there. They reckon a meal is going to cost 3.4% more than last year, a turkey a whole 7%. And that's not great for the British public, who are already under pressure. We've talked about inflation. But let's just look at our business. Let's think about what you're doing in your business. Are you maintaining your margins? Have you seen costs go up, and have you increased your prices to offset that? Or did you set your prices on the 1st of January and you're going to do them on the 1st of January next year, and you've just allowed all the costs to be taken out of your profit? Maintaining your margins is really important. And at this crucial time of year, as we come to the end of the year, setting your prices and sticking to them for once for the whole year can be really difficult and can put your business under pressure. So let's make sure you're consistently looking at your margins, understanding your cost base and the prices you're charging your customers. Really important. So are you maintaining your margins? How are you managing your team in the run up to Christmas? We've seen Sainsbury's and other businesses talk about postponing their Christmas. Now for Sainsbury's, having their staff off over the next 2.5 weeks will be really detrimental to the business, whether it's the distribution arm, in-store staff. Obviously contracting COVID through a party would not be great. So it does make sense that they do not have mass gatherings of their teams before Christmas. But what about you? Are you starting to think about getting your team to work from home in the run up to Christmas? To protect them as much as anything else, the last thing anybody wants is to get COVID just before the Christmas holidays, and then they've got to be in isolation and miss the opportunity to spend it with friends and family. So are you thinking about what you can do to protect your team and make sure they have the Christmas they want? Or are you saying, no, I'm going to carry on as normal? Big decisions as we run up to the last 10 days of running up to Christmas. Sacking by Zoom. I'm sure you've all heard about the gentleman Vishal Garg from American firm Better.com, who laid off 900 staff in a single Zoom call. Not great and not nice, and obviously making social media going to have a real impact. Is it such a crime? If you think back to pre-internet days, pre-mobile phones, we'd have probably got a lot of those people into a single room and had, maybe 100 people in a room telling them all together of the situation with the business. So Zoom is just modern technology. It doesn't look good. Obviously, the time of year is never great, just before Christmas, and I think that's something that's really difficult to digest. However, is having a 900-person Zoom call such a crime? Is it really the worst way to deliver consistent news across the airwaves? I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but how would you deal if you had a business with that many people? How would you deal with it? And how do you communicate to your team? How do you ensure that the message is the same right across your business? Chinese whispers are a terrible thing, so it's really important that the same message is received right across the company. So not great, but was the Zoom sacking such a crime? Finally, today we've seen some changes again to the travel restrictions. So PCR tests now needed before people travel back from holidays, putting the travel industry under further strain. But what's going to happen to your business if the rules change? Different parts of the country, Scotland, Wales, changing their rules all the time. What's happening with the UK? So what is it that you need to be aware of? What plans can you put in place now that you might never need? But what if things change, and how can that help your business? We didn't see it coming 2 years ago. However, now we've been through this, we should have plans to understand, what do our staff need to work from home? What do we need to do and implement in terms of our sales? What do we need to do to ensure that our cash flow maintains? What is our plan if the rules change? And it's not just COVID. There will be other reasons that businesses have interruptions. So what are your plans for rules or other interruptions? Let's make sure we've got them, people know them, and we can interact with them as soon as something changes. Finally today, our workshops. So the Business Resilience and Growth Programme for Newark and Sherwood District Council. Our next cohort starts on the 13th of January. Construction and manufacturing businesses, 2 hours a week, focused on your business with myself and David O'Brien, and includes a grant of up to £5,000. If you know a business, or if you work with a business who would qualify, please give me a shout. My contact details are here. Have a good day. Take care.